I've had people ask me to give my thoughts on the Jen show on Netflix. Kian's Adventure. I can never say it right, so I never say stuff. Okay, so I wanted to give my thoughts on it. I love it. That's my thought. I love it. Okay, so here's the thing about Jen, and I think this is why once I got to know him, he became my bias wrecker, and he kind of took over Jimin's spot a little bit. Although now I have to say Hobie's like hello, but anyway, yes, he's handsome as hell. I mean, he's worldwide handsome for a reason. There's no getting around that. But that man, okay, he captured my soul very, very early on into my BTS journey through In the Soup, season 1, episode 3, if he flings it, he flings it. That sentence alone, those moments alone, is when he first really got my attention. He made a couple of comments through In the Soup. I believe it was that In the Soup season that really struck home with me. Another one that he made was he was talking about fishing when he was having such a hard time, and he said, just because I'm fishing doesn't mean I get to catch fish. He just has this way of looking at life that I so respect, and I think he's a lot like me, and that maybe I look at that and it's some validation for me, because I'm very much a if you fling it, you fling it person. I'm very much a dream big, give it a try. What's the worst that can happen? It fails. What does that even mean? What does failure even mean? Failure only depends on what the definition that you give it, right, in the moment. And so I really relate with him a lot. And so watching him on this Netflix series and watching him interact with other people that are not the guys only solidifies for me that it's not ever an act for him. This is just who he is. And I love the fact that nobody's really just fangirling over him and just going crazy, and which I think is beautiful. I mean, they had their 4 seconds of, oh my God, that's Jin, and then everything. And that's a testament to him as much as it is to them, because he tells us when he's talking about, I try to make people comfortable. I understand that people can be overwhelmed being around somebody from BTS or, what have you. That just shows this emotional maturity in him, and a willingness and a desire to see other people be not only happy but comfortable. And so he's willing to kind of put himself out there, be a little bit more over the top, make jokes about it to make other people feel comfortable. And I adore that about him. I got that to a little bit of it, obviously to a much smaller degree, when I was in Chicago and LA, and people would come up and say, oh, I've seen you on Instagram or whatever. If somebody takes a moment to come speak to you because they recognize you, you want them to feel seen and understood and give them the full moment. And it's just how valuable they are and how much that meant to you, that they would that they would come out of their comfort zone to approach you. And so I just really, really appreciate the way that he handles people. And then to see him, with his co-stars and helping them up the pole and all of it. He's so encouraging. You can do this. You've got this. I mean, but I think that all the guys are that way. I remember, watching Jimin's when he was trying to do the whole snowboarding thing in Are You Sure? And the self-talk that goes on, you're doing great. You're doing all that stuff. I mean, they are so emotionally mature, and the way that they are with each other is just as beautiful. And we got to see that kind of in that moment. I think there's so many people would have just lost their shit and been so just like annoyed and, oh my God, why is this taking so long? And why can she not learn this? And, the whole 9 yards. And he was just so incredibly patient and encouraging, and he had fun with it. The other thing I love about it is when Kian was like, maybe I should change the plans. Maybe I should put a door in. Maybe I should whatever. And she's encouraging me, yeah, put a door in, make it easier for us. And I love that Jin's take on that was, this is your vision. This is what you wanted. And it's happening exactly how you wanted it. No, don't put the door in. People are learning and they're enjoying it in the moment. This is what you wanted. He wanted this man to get to experience it the way he dreamed of experiencing it without having to compromise, right? I love that about him. I love that he's just like, no, be true to you and be true to your vision, and other people can either even basically accept it or not. And from that moment on, at least in the couple of, at least the rest of that episode, the owner of that B&B really kind of referred to him as his moral support. And you could tell that meant a lot to him, right? Because he was doubting himself. He was doubting his creativity. He was doubting his intention. He was like, oh, maybe I went too far, da 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 da. And to have someone like Jen come along and say, no, you need to honor your own vision and your own ideas and your creativity. And I think that meant a lot to him. And I think, sometimes within the soups and bon voyages and in run episodes and stuff like this, and I think we get so kind of caught up laughing and joking and all of it, we sometimes maybe miss there are serious life lessons that are going on. And these guys are teaching us so much about letting things slide and accepting other people. And do we really need to be frustrated about this or that? We can't control things. We might as well just go with it. And I think he is the epitome of that. And we're witnessing that. I mean, I don't know. I think I would lose my shit on that boat. I'm be real honest. At least have a few moments of losing my shit. I'd eventually be like, this is, what can I change? That's the other thing I love about me. It's like, what can I do about it? This is where I am. I chose to be here. This is the situation. Either I can bitch about it the whole time or I can have fun. And he's choosing to just go with it and have fun. And I think I might have a fit for a moment privately. I'm not really a big, outburst person, but I might like lose my mind alone and then come back out and be like, you know what? I'm here. I might as well have fun. And I love that about him. And I know I'm rambling, but there's so much to love about him, but there's also so much to learn from him. And I've actually watched each episode now twice. And the last episode I've watched 3 times. And it's because of those moments of him showing how to live graciously and how to support others. Even when they most doubt themselves. And he makes me want to be that kind of person. I hope I'm that kind of person. I try to be that kind of person, but he makes me want to be that person even more. And what more could you ask for from your idols? That's the whole point of idols, is there's something about them that inspires you and that makes you want to be like them. And if we're lucky, wanting to be like them, like we get to do as BTS fans and OT7, is if we emulate the guys, then because they're such great people, the world just becomes a better place. So that's my take.